The Declaration promised life, liberty, happiness, and equality to all men. The institution of slavery was a series of horrific events that violated the promises of life, liberty, happiness, and equality. Frederick Douglass was a former slave who experienced these violations and escaped from slavery. At a young age, he was separated from his mother and did not know anything about his personal life. When Douglass's mother died, he felt emotions he would have if a stranger died, because they did not communicate with each other. In his years of slavery, he has witnessed other slaves being whipped, as well as being whipped himself. His overseer, Mr. Plummer, would horrifically slash or cut women's heads. I've often been awakened at the dawn of day by the most heart-rending shrieks of an own aunt of mine, whom he used to tie up to the joist and whip upon her naked back till she was literally covered in blood. When he was about 7 to 8 years old, his master sent him to live with Mr. and Mrs. Auld. Very soon after I went to live with Mr. and Mrs. Auld, she very kindly commenced to teach me the ABC. After I had learned this, she assisted me in learning to spell words of 3 or 4 letters. Mr. Auld didn't approve of Douglas's education because he said it was unsafe to teach a slave to read because he would become spoiled and unimaginable, meaning Mr. Auld is worried that a literate slave will not stay a slave for long. Slaves were considered animals to their slaveholders. They were dehumanized by making men as horses, women as cattle, and children as pigs. All of the misery gave Douglas the desire to be free, and he discovered the pathway to freedom: education. Another inspiration to convince Douglas was his fight with one of his own masters, Mr. Covey, which rekindled a spark in his pursuit of freedom. I was ready to work as night as day, and the most untiring perseverance in the industry. I made enough to meet my expenses and lay up a little money every week. After a long period of enduring the hardships of slavery, Douglas finally escaped to New York on September 3, 1838, but did not write about the details to keep his fellow slaves out of trouble.